This is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And this time we're covering one of Will's favorite subjects, Mr. Hal Jordan, from Green Lantern 9 through 13 from 2006. And a certain Dark Knight detective shows up again. Right before we jump ahead 1 year later.
That's right. You know, that's what one of the things I'd forgotten about Green Lantern at this time was, you know, with Jeff Johns at the helm, certain company-wide things seem to have little or no effect on Green Lantern.
as much or as little as he wants, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, because 1 year later was a big deal in a lot of other titles, and you had 52 spring out, and yeah.
I don't think I think he was fine. He might probably fine with it, but I don't think he had a choice with the 1 year later because every DC book jumped ahead a year later, so it would have been weird to have every book but Green Lantern jump ahead a year. But no, as we'll get to, the first one takes place before the time jump, so
yeah.
Oh, but yes, we were speaking offline. Yes, I did see the Flash movie. Again, I mean, I don't like Ezra Miller as the Flash, and even putting aside their personal issues, I really never bought them as Barry Allen, but Michael Keaton, oh my god, if you love Michael Keaton Batman, Ray, pay attention. Oh my god, there's so many good fight scenes. Or like, nice. Oh my god, they break into like a Russian installation to free Supergirl, and it's just like, oh my god, there's Michael Keaton Batman breaking into like this Russian facility. Oh my god, he's fighting Russians.
Nice.
Yeah, there is some good stuff. So,
well, it's actually been a while since we talked last.
I know it's been like at least a week and a half, even though it's felt like longer. Yes. Again, kids, you'll have heard no interruption on the podcast, but yes, it's been like at least a week and a half. So
the last thing I left you with was a question about Green Lantern number 2, which I still haven't got yet.
Oh, yes. Green Lantern 2 was good. Yeah, I should have brought that out. Yeah, because that was last week's. Yeah, it was good. And again, like I told you, it kind of ends on a cliffhanger, which I believe will probably tie up in Night Terrors, because it kind of seems like it's a Night Terrors thing. And again, Jeremy Adams is writing Night Terrors.
That's good. But still, I mean, you know, not that I would dare question, you know, somebody working at DC, but to interrupt all of your books for 2 months seems like a sure way to destroy any kind of momentum.
They like doing their summer events sometimes, because what was that, like 2015 or 2016? Then they did that Convergence and stuff. I mean, they like doing that, but they were moving offices at that point. That's the only reason why I thought they did that. But I mean. But like I told you, we're getting spoiled on the Green Lantern side here, because Jeremy Adams, the regular monthly writer, is writing the Night Terrors issues. Well, at least the main story. Okay. But yeah, I mean, every other book I've seen, it's not the main writer. So.
Oh, by the way, I finally found the last issue that I needed. Last 2 issues of Jeremy Adams' run on the Flash. So I've read the first 2 issues, 768 and 769. Like where they're going, so I'm going to be slowly catching up on his run on the Flash and looking forward to it.
769, you say?
Either do the 6 or do the 9.
So yeah, and again, we're gonna have to come up with something for Unlimited Justice when Lil takes her September sabbatical again. So I don't know if you want to do Jeremy Adams Flash run, or if we want to do like we were talking before, just different characters each episode. Yeah. Maybe like legacy. Yeah, maybe like legacy stuff, like the Legacy of Starman one episode, the Legacy of I mean, we could do a
Blue
Flash,
Beetle, yeah.
Blue Beetle. Yeah, I mean, there's enough.
Enough legacy characters out there now.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we could, oh my god, we could. There's so much we could do. I mean, oh my god, we could compare characters like before and after Crisis. Something, you know.
Nothing changed, but everything's different. Okay.
Was it the other day I mentioned the Lilith? I'm like, oh yeah, we're coming up here. Next month will be the 1 year anniversary of Summer of '69. And she's like, oh, maybe we should do more stuff at '69 at some point. I'm like, and I mentioned, I was throwing out DC character names. Like, well, we kind of did Batman already. We did this. I'm like, Superman. She's like, oh, Superman 1969. She was all down for that. I was like, all right.
That'd probably be Kurt Swan on the art.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty awesome issues, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I associate him more with Marvel side, but we did lose another creator recently, John Romita Sr.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yep. And I don't think we know the true reach that he had because he was on staff in the bullpen. So he taught and coached and all of these creators that, you know, you can't, innumerable. You can't count them. You know, just so much of an influence that's going to be felt in the, continue to be felt in the comics industry for many, many years to come.
And then, like I was even saying, if nothing else, I mean, after Steve Ditko, I mean, Romita Sr. is probably like the guy most associated with like Spider-Man art and, just like creating the look of the character and stuff.
The Spider-Man No More cover.
Oh, yeah.
That everybody knows.
The garbage can, yeah.
Yeah.
Now imagine trying to be his son and breaking into the business. I mean, he's made a name for himself now, John Romita Jr., but I'm just like, can you imagine getting into the business and it's like you have to live up to that legacy? It's like,
well, he had a good teacher, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did, but I'm just saying, I'm sure everyone's like, we're waiting for him in those early days, but like, let's see if he can live up to the father,
Yeah. There's some of those great, like in the 120s, 1-teens, when David Michelini and John Romita Jr. and Bob Layton were on Iron Man. You got Demon in a Bottle. Those are, classic stories these days. Great run.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw on Disney Plus there must be some there's a Stan Lee documentary or something. I haven't watched it yet, so
I haven't either. Secret Invasion, I think, is out, isn't it?
First episode did come out. Yes.
So, how have you seen it?
Yes, I did. I liked it. It's good, especially if you like spy stuff. And again, it's Skrulls. So, and it ends with the death of a character, so be prepared, kids.
They've got to do that. They just have to do that, right?
Yeah. I mean, and the pace should be pretty quick. So I think it's only 6 episodes. So
okay. All right, I'll have to give it a look. Star Trek is back on.
Oh yeah, Strange New Worlds. Yes, we're already 2 episodes into season 2. Yeah, are you caught up?
Oh yeah, the series is so awesome.
And that Trow episode, me and Lilith were just talking about it. She was like, you know what? She's like, if people don't get that one, they don't get it because that was in your face.
That was. Rub it in your face like it should be.
And I said, there's still probably idiots who went over their head. It's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
Indeed. But no, that's a good. I mean, yeah, I love it. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds.
Mm-hmm. It's jumped to the top of the heap as my favorite. I mean, I still like Discovery, and I know we've got one more season of it, but Strange New Worlds just makes me smile.
I would like the ship to go now.
Yes.
I just saw it today. I guess they were gonna do a season 2. I think they said they even made it, but that Star Trek Prodigy, that cartoon with Kate Mulgrew. But I guess they canceled it and they're taking it like off Paramount Plus and everything. So I don't know what happened.
Wow.
Unless it's just, I don't know, maybe they're just like, I don't know if they had to share the rights probably with Nickelodeon because that's where it was airing too. But so I don't know if it was just a money thing, but.
I'd heard good things about it. I think I watched the first episode, but we never got back around to it.
Yeah, I heard good things too, but I never watched any of it. But yeah, poor Kate Mulgrew. We'll put Kate Mulgrew in live action. That's what me and Lil said. We need like another series to follow Picard where you just bring in like DS9 and Voyager characters.
Yeah. Because it was kind of set up for that at the end of Picard, right?
I mean, we've had 7 of 9 pretty much the every season of Picard, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
Got that.
Yep. Yeah. Otis has to comment. He's throwing a fit in the floor.
Daddy, pay attention to me.
Oh my goodness. Such an ornery hound dog. But let's see what else has been going on. We haven't really had any news about the Green Lantern show.
Nope.
But there's been some pretty good.
You know,
Go ahead.
I did send you that link. We do have some Green Lantern news in September after Night Terrors.
Yeah.
That Philip Kennedy Johnson series backups in the regular Green Lantern book are going to spin out into a miniseries.
Mm-hmm.
So
is it called John Stewart's War Journal or
something like here? I'm going to bring up that link I sent you. Green Lantern War Journal, but yeah, it's John Stewart. So
cool. Yep, I'm looking forward to that. I'm still, and I have complete faith that Jeremy Adams is going to get us back around to some, much needed explanations. Not just for the change in status quo for the current series, but how did we get from the end of the last series to where we are now? There's still so much that really wasn't ever explained, even in the Emerald Knights one shot. Was it John Stewart Emerald Knight, which was by who's the writer? Why can I not remember his name right now?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember either. But I mean, well, that's the reason I think they had such a disservice to put John Stewart in the backups, because Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing a good job, but you don't have the page count to really, get into stuff in those backups. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm glad we're getting that mini series. So hopefully,
I think my guess is that the backups are really kind of just being a teaser, because there's a big criticism that I think both you and I had of the previous Green Lantern volume by, come on, man.
Wait, what?
See his face. Who's the writer?
Oh, what writer? Wait, what are you talking about?
Of the previous Green Lantern series.
Oh, yeah. Is it? Oh, Jeffrey Thorne.
Jeffrey Thorne. Thank you.
Yes.
One of the big criticisms that you and I had of that series was that we never felt like we got a full story, in the issues because of the way they were divided up.
Yes.
You had, and it just, I don't know, it never really gelled for me. I mean, there were some things about it I liked.
Not enough ring slinging.
Not enough ring slinging. That's true. But I did like the reset for Hal having a normal ring.
Yes.
Which is now reset again, I guess.
Well, I mean, unless we're just doing that so he can get his hands on a real ring.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know.
What if Hal put something in place where he knew he'd be able to do that because he kind of Kobayashi Maru'd it or something?
That's possible.
Like, here's an emergency thing, just so I can get to a real ring or something.
But I really like the current series, and I'm looking forward to reading number 2. I haven't had a chance. I haven't got it yet, but things look good for Green Lantern.
I'll what's your beak here? Yes, that we get some more Hal and Carol time. So. Oh,
okay.
Yes.
And I was reading. I can't remember. It may have been an interview with Jeremy Adams on the blog of OA, or the podcast of OA, or I think it was on the podcast of OA, which is another great podcast. There's lots of great Green Lantern podcasts out there. Mosaic Comics, we had Dan from Mosaic Comics on with us. The podcast of OA, which is also part of the blog of OA. Emerald Enthusiasts, I think. Anyway, there's several out there, and I'm not remembering them all right now, but check them out. They're definitely worth watching.
Oh yeah. We've been making friends with the Green Lantern podcast community. So next time we get something big, I think we need to try to get a round table together.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get up to 10 people, I think, on this screen. So I mean,
yeah. Have a core of Green Lantern core podcast.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's what I was thinking. We should have a social media page where we just share everybody's episodes. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
The Green Lantern.
And there's I need to catch up on some too. It's been a hectic couple of weeks, so I'm looking forward to some YouTube podcast time this weekend. That'll be good.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to these issues, Green Lantern War Journal #1 comes out on September 19th. So
cool. Very cool.
Which I'm assuming comes after Green Lantern 3, because they're saying the John Stewart backups are in issues 1, 2, and 3. So then it must have been right out of 3. So
that you would think they would have given him 4 issues, but then the Night Terror. Terror. I don't understand.
Well, that's the other thing. During Night Terrors, there isn't going to be the John Stewart backup. It's going to be a Sinestro backup. So,
yeah, I don't pretend to understand it, but Jeremy Adams is writing it, so I'm confident that we'll at least get some good stories out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it gives like Philip Kennedy Johnson like a 2-month break to like work on that miniseries then too, I guess. So,
yeah. All
right, are we ready for our classic issues?
We are Revenge of the Green Lanterns.
Nah. All right, kids. So, yes, 5 issues tonight. We're going to start with Green Lantern #9, Volume 4, #9, from April 2006. Branded. Writer Jeff Johns, penciler Ethan Von Sciver, inker Ethan Von Sciver, and Prentice Rollins, colorist Moose Bauman, letterer Rob Lee, and editor Peter Tomasi. Batman. Oh, all right. You said the magic word here, kid. All right. Batman,
my favorite character,
calls on Green Lantern. It's of course Will loves Hal Jordan. To take on a new version of an old foe, the Tattooed Man. Remember him? Remember him from when we covered Green Lantern #2 from the 1990 series.
That was a little while ago.
I mean, we covered The Road Back in episode 4, I believe. So, yes, it's been a while. Remember 121 episodes back?
Yeah, exactly.
This one is in the Cityside Motel in Gotham City and has been murdering people, including Lou Rosen, who was cheating on his wife. While Green Lantern takes on his tattoos, Batman takes out the man himself. Back in the Batcave, Hal has Bruce try on the ring to try and help him overcome his inner demons. Bruce conjures up images of bats at first, but then gains control and forms a vision of his parents. Batman tells him he's not ready to give up his darkness, but thanks him anyway, and they part ways. Oh man, they skipped all over that when they first show up before they go to see the Tattooed Man. Yeah, Batman pays him back for that punch.
Yep.
I don't want to say Batman's petty or anything, but...
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And then this issue. Salak reveals that power batteries cost 3 Rotox, which is the equivalent of over $177 million US.
And Hal blew his up last issue, right? Last time we were.
Yeah, did the shark try to eat it? Yeah, he threw the shark in the shark's mouth.
Yeah.
All right. Thoughts?
I really liked the completely different approaches, and I think Jeff Johns did a really great job of highlighting that differences. You know, Hal goes in bright as a target so that everything's focused on him, and he takes all the fire so nobody else does.
Yep.
Which is a great, that's the difference between him and Batman. Batman's all about stealth and, fear and all that stuff. But I love when he gets in the car. He says, yeah, we need a plan. He goes, I'm going to hit him really hard with a giant
boxing glove. I know. I was going to bring that up. Yes. He's like joking.
I went, yes, because I'm joking, of course. But yeah, I thought that was really good. And then finally with, he calls him Hal finally at the end.
Yes.
Because, he is glad he's back finally. It's just that, I think Johns would have us believe that, when Hal was possessed by Parallax, that and nobody knew it, that betrayal really, really, devastated Batman. So, yeah, I think this is a really good issue.
Oh yeah, I mean, for a lot of times they'll just throw Batman in a book to try to sell issues, but yeah, no, I think that Jeff Johns pulled it off well here.
Yeah, he was there for a reason. And it was a payoff from, Rebirth.
Yeah.
Probably, over a year earlier? What issue are we in right now?
Issue 9.
9. So yeah, probably a year earlier.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and again, it's like, I mean, not all probably isn't forgiven, but I mean, we're getting there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely.
And again, just like I love the art, you know, with the basically the floating logos and stuff. And
yep. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, those were good. I mean, and you know, the Tattooed Man, you know, Hal's sin is arrogance.
Oh yeah.
And the, you know, hey, okay, you know, I can see that. And then, but he didn't say what Batman's sins were. He just said he had them, right?
Yeah. Did we not want to name check that? You know. Oh, and building on what's coming here soon in a few minutes, yeah, when he's on OS, Salak tells Hal, he's like, yeah, you better watch your background, some of these Green Lanterns, because
they know what you, being possessed by Parallax, did.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, is this the issue at the end of this issue? Do we get Arquillo, or is that the next issue?
Hold on, I'm scrolling through it now. No, it must be the next issue. Yeah, no, because
issue. Okay.
It might be next, because I think there's one where we just get like his first appearance is like a page where basically just like that ring comes to him.
Exactly. So I mean, you can see, you know, 11. When did we start getting the crossover in Sinestro Corps War? Is that like 1920 somewhere in there?
Maybe,
so I mean,
something like that. Yeah.
You know, planting the seeds for that early on. You know, so that builds, and yeah, Sinestro Corps War is pretty darn amazing. At least my memories of it are. I'm hoping it lives up to my memories, and I kind of expect it to.
And we really don't get an explanation how we have a new Tattooed Man, but there you go.
Yeah, he was captured and he learned their tattooing of sins thing. I think it was like a one-liner or something. You know, he was talking to Batman.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I lived through months of torture by the Krill tribes of Medora. Yeah. Sin grafting, he calls it. Yes. Mm-hmm. But what do you think at the end when Hal has Batman try on the ring?
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Although one of the things that, you know, I feel like Batman should have moved beyond that, and he does what he does not because of that pain and darkness, but he does it because he has the ability to keep that from happening to anybody else. I really, really like the Batman Planetary crossover because for all its fun, you know, they have the 60s Batman TV series Batman show up in it. I mean, for all its fun and jokiness, there's a really poignant, you know, kind of ending to it with Batman, you know, about why he does what he does, mm-hmm. and how he goes on. So I would, and I get why it couldn't happen. First off, it shouldn't happen in a Green Lantern book because it's a Green Lantern book, not a Batman book. And, you know, you can't make a fundamental change to Batman in a Green Lantern book. So I understand why they did what they did, but I feel like Batman at this point should not be haunted by that anymore. He should have moved beyond it and realized that he's doing what he needs to do to, you know, save and protect, you know, everybody in Gotham City and the rest of the world and the multiverse and Dark Knight's metal, whatever. I don't know.
So you're saying he should be beyond this? Batman should be beyond this? Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. So
that's just my thoughts on that.
I mean, no, I agree. Yeah.
And you know, and we I feel like we got that. If you look at the Batman of Earth 2, and I mean old Earth 2, not new.
Yeah.
I mean pre-crisis.
Yes.
He had moved on to that. You know, he had.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like this Batman kind of has moved on too because he's created a new family, and it's big. The Bat family is tremendously large at this point. But you know, he had moved past it, and you know, on the original Earth 2, he had married Catwoman. They had a daughter.
Yep.
The Huntress.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. But I thought this was a really good issue.
Oh yeah. And again, like you were saying, I mean, yeah, I don't know, just modern Batman sometimes he just seems like he went, well, the last couple of decades, yeah, it seemed like he had moved past it in the Silver Age, but I think we hit a certain point and like they're just like, oh man, people like it when he just like flogs himself with that darkness, you know, a certain point in time. Frank Miller.
Dark Knight Returns. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Frank Miller has a certain style of writing. How do we put this little far?
Your mother's a whore!
There you go.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Violent, ultra violence, and women are whores. Oh my lord! I think. Oh, did you see? I think Marvel's trolling people now because it's like Frank Miller just keeps. They keep announcing Frank Miller variant covers for stuff. Like there's a Wolverine book coming out, and that did not. The Wolverine drawing did not look good, and now I guess he's doing a Daredevil variant and a Captain America variant.
Well, he's really evolved a long way from like his original Daredevil style.
Oh yeah.
And
oh, I mean that was what 40 years ago. Yeah,
I mean, and it's I don't know. Some of it is certainly not to my liking, but you can see his evolution. From like Daredevil to when he moved into like doing like Elektra Lives Again. You can start seeing, and Dark Knight Returns. Those things are starting to change and evolve. And then in Sin City, where he's going with that stark black and white, and now I'm not going to talk about the writing. I'm just going to talk about the art. And then, 300 is somewhere in there. And it's just how he's evolving. Now, it's not necessarily to my taste at this point.
Yeah.
You can look back at Dark Knight 2.
Why?
Which is, yeah, exactly. And then look at some of the covers on Dark Knight 3 even. And he's really radically. I don't think it's radical. I think it's its natural evolution. It's just it has changed a lot from when most people are familiar with his work, which would be Born Again, as a writer, or Daredevil and Batman Dark Knight, or Sin City.
And again, I mean, too, it was 40 years ago. Like I said, just the physical toll that all the years of drawing take on your hands. And, not everyone can keep up their quality. Like, I wanted to say to you your thoughts on this. I don't know if you saw. I think it might. Is that September? Some in the next couple of months they're going to be rebooting the Captain America book, and I guess J. Michael Straczynski is going to be writing Captain America. And I just and I just saw last night. I guess that one of the variant covers for #1 is going to be a George Perez.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm just like, that has to be an old work then.
They're repurposing some older work. That's interesting. Straczynski, I liked, I think, some of his earlier stuff.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, tonally, I don't think he fits a lot with with like the Marvel universe. Certainly not the DC universe.
Yeah. But yeah, no, my big question was, how do you feel about them like repurposing George's art after he's like been gone?
Well, corporations are going to corporate, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't know if they even have to, but I would hope maybe they would ask permission from the family and like maybe like give them some of the profits for anything, because that's going to make money. George Perez, Captain America, especially now.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, one would hope so.
If not the family charity, something.
Yep, I agree. So we went a little far afield. You ready to hit number 10?
Yes, I am ready. All right. So, hey, we've been bottled up for the last week and a half, kids. We haven't talked.
Yeah. 1 year later.
Yes, we're going to jump ahead 1 year later for Green Lantern number 10, May 2006. Revenge of the Green Lanterns, Part 1. Yes, the art team's going to change here. Pencils by Ivan Reyes and inker Mark Campos. And I think everyone else is the same. So this issue opens up with Hal Jordan battling the Igneous Man, who is hired as a mercenary to capture the Green Lantern. Hal's attack from... Wait. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Lost my place for a second. All right. Hold on. There we go. Who is... Hal's attack... Hal is attacked from behind by the Rocket Red Brigade of Russia, who tell him that he is under arrest for refusing to listen to their warnings about entering Russian airspace. He tells them that he is after the Igneous Man, but the Rockets are aware of his presence. As Jordan battles the brigade, he sees the Igneous Man is melting the wings off a Russian fighter jet and saves it. I mean, they take that personally, man. You're attacking fighter pilots?
Exactly. That's not cool, bro.
Yeah. In a flashback, Hal was captured by Chechnyan terrorists after bombing their camps. They had also captured 2 other pilots who were with Hal, Colonel Shane Rocketman Sellers and Captain Jillian Cowgirl Perlman. He hears the words, "It's Green Lantern's fault." Jordan wakes up from the nightmare to the sound of the news where the Global Guardians were issuing a statement concerning his actions. He says goodbye to a date who stayed overnight, whose name he doesn't remember. Oliver Queen, Jordan's best friend, arrives at the door of his apartment. They walk around outside and talk about Green Lantern's latest actions. Hal defends himself by saying that when he becomes Green Lantern, borders don't exist, and that it is because of a bounty on his head that he is being targeted by multiple mercenaries. Meanwhile, on a planet in Sector 674, a monster is seen battling a number of warriors when a yellow power ring arrives and welcomes him into something called the Sinestro Corps.
Yeah.
Hold on, if anything deserved it, here we go. This is going to have effects for the rest of this podcast, kids.
Yeah. Now, if I remember correctly, and I haven't read these issues, I've just read about them and seen some podcasts on them. I believe that actually Arkillo and Guy become friends.
Yeah, it's been a while since I read some of those. I believe so. Yeah.
I think that's in Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, or potentially, I think it's Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps.
Or Red Lantern. I know they do stuff in Red Lanterns, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we're going to get into this in a few months here, kids. Sinestro Corps.
Yep.
The 3 pilots are at a celebration at Edwards Air Force Base for their return from Russia when an alien ship appears and crashes near the base. When Jordan checks out the ship, he realizes that there is a Green Lantern on board, but one he did not expect to see again. The Green Lantern of Sector 2813, Tomar 2, who was last seen when Hal became Parallax and killed him. So we got to get 2 cliffhangers here, kids.
That's right. So this issue, I feel like, was a lot of setup, establishing the new, 1 year later status quo, and Hal was taken, POW for I assume around 3 months, because I think they said it was 3 months ago that they went in, or
something. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if they addressed that at all. They might have briefly in that 52 series, but it's been so long since I read that. It might have been since it came out that I read the whole thing, but.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was a lot of setup, not a whole lot of,
But that's the thing. Hal's even blaming himself for them getting captured because remember, he takes his ring off to fly,
Exactly. It's Green Lantern's fault.
So I think he was even like, Cal was right. I should have kept the ring on.
Yeah. But, I don't know that once we kick it into overdrive with Sinestro Corps War, I don't know that we come back to Earth much. Do you?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think much. I mean, once we get really going with the interplanetary stuff, I think we pretty much majority of our time is spent in space.
Well, I mean, except for Secret Origin, which is not.
Yeah, it's a flashback.
Yeah. So I feel like what is the next? The next collection is not Sinestro Corps War. It's
there's something in between there. I can't remember, but there is something in between there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are you ready for the next one?
You bet.
All right, let's see. Green Lantern, Volume 4, Number 11, June 2006. Revenge of the Green Lanterns, Part 2. Tomar 2, Green Lantern of Sector 2813, lies in a medical room on Oa where Green Lantern Soranik Natu helps him recover. With them are Hal Jordan and Salak. From all that they know, Tomar 2 should be dead. Salak says that from the ship's log, Tomar 2 came from beyond the edge of Sector 3600 into Sector 3601, a sector forbidden to all lanterns and home to the Manhunters. I thought the entire universe was 3600. I'm like, all of a sudden,
I don't understand it.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, here's something out of our jurisdiction. I'm like, what?
They're called the Guardians of the Universe.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just say whatever's outside the universe is Sector 3601.
Maybe.
I don't know.
In the cafeteria, Hal talks with Guy about Tomar 2's reappearance. He remembers when Coast City was destroyed, which caused Hal to feel fear for the first time and be influenced by the yellow impurity. He attacked his fellow Lanterns, including Tomar 2, and stole their rings. He became the host for Parallax, but was finally freed of the parasite. Hal believes that because of Tomar 2's reappearance, there is a chance that the other Green Lanterns that Hal defeated years ago may still be alive. Turyat of Sector 286 attacks Jordan because his predecessor was Kihon, one of the Lanterns that was betrayed. Many other Lanterns get involved as well until Kilowog comes and breaks up the fight. Salak arrives as well and gives demerits to the Lantern to attack Jordan and Gardner and tells the two Earthmen that the Guardians of the Universe seek to speak with Hal about Tomar 2's reappearance. Hal reasons with the Guardians, but the Guardians refuse his request to send a strike force to Sector 3601 because it is outside of their universe. Hal then returns to meet with Guy, who asks what the Guardians said about his request. Jordan replies that they have given him permission. Yeah, so much for that honesty.
Well, we know what Guy says later.
Whoa, yeah. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the Global Guardians welcome the new Crimson Fox into their ranks and discuss their statements relating the Green Lantern's recent actions. In a flashback, Hal was a prisoner in Russia. This is how far Sector 3601 is, kids. Hal wakes up from a hibernation mode with Guy at the sector of Sector 3600, noticing that there's not a single star in Sector 3601. They fly into the sector based on Tomar 2's flight plan. Didn't they say it took them like 10 hours to get there?
Yep.
So, yeah, kids, that's how far it is. They fly into the sector based on Tomar 2's flight plan, which takes them to the homeworld of the Manhunters, Biot. They try to sneak into the planet, but they are noticed by the Manhunters. The robots were upgraded to contain Green Lantern batteries within them, draining the rings of their power. Hal notices something strange on his hand. Instead of oil coming from the Manhunters, it's blood. Then they go down a pipeline where they find 7 lanterns hooked up to a large power battery. The 7 lanterns who are supposedly killed by Hal. When Hal reminds himself that it was his fault, he's blasted from behind by the person behind the resurrection and upgrade of the Manhunters, Cyborg Superman, wearing the rings of the Lost Lanterns, doing his best crazy Hal Jordan impression.
So, what is it with Superman villains?
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, why is Jeff Johns giving us Superboy Prime, now Cyborg Superman? I mean,
and they're not one-shot villains. They're going to be long-term Green Lantern. In fact, they're not Superman villains anymore. They are Green Lantern villains. That's it.
I believe Jeff Johns is a big Superman fan because, was it at this point or maybe like a year or two after this? It might be the One More Day or the 1 year later stuff, but I think he did have a run on Action Comics. I think he did actually do it with what's the director of the Christopher Reeve Superman movies? Those first Donner. Him and Richard Donner did like a Action Comics run. I think. Yeah.
Didn't they kind of bring back the classic 70s? 50s, 60s, 70s Legion?
I think so. Yeah. I think that was his run. Yeah. But yeah, I think at the time they might have said he might have worked for Richard Donner at some point. So, I mean,
yeah,
if nothing else, he was a fan of Richard Donner's Superman stuff. So,
Silver Age Superman stuff. Yep, I gotcha. But yeah, I mean, with Cyborg Superman, I mean, he becomes, spoilers, he's going to be in Sinestro Corps. So is Superboy Prime. Mm-hmm. He has the ability to instill great fear and rip people's arms off. That's what he does. So,
and I mean, at least with Cyborg Superman, it's kind of personal for Hal because he was the mastermind behind bombing Coast City, which we get an explanation for in this arc.
Yes, which I thought was really a nice touch. That's why he did it. Did
you ever read Hank Henshaw's origin, like his first appearance from Adventures of Superman?
If I remember correctly, was this John Byrne era Adventures of Superman?
It might have been right after, not too long after Byrne left, because I'm trying to remember. It might have been Dan Jurgens writing something at that point, but I think it might have been right after Byrne left, but it's like, basically Hank Henshaw, his wife, and 2 friends go up in a shuttle, and get bombarded by radiation. Yeah. I mean, the radiation basically kills the rest of them, but Henshaw eventually realizes that he can, transfer his mind into electronics, but he starts disrupting stuff on Earth. So he makes a little pod for himself out of the birthing matrix that sends Superman to Earth. Heads for the stars, never to return until, oh, hey, who's this cyborg Superman guy in Reign of the Supermen?
Wait, I know. Pick me.
Yeah. He can't, yeah, kids, surprisingly, yes, being a disembodied consciousness in deep space kind of warped his mind. Get out of town.
I'm shocked, I tell you. Shocked and aghast.
And he runs into Mongol. Yeah, that's how that whole partnership starts.
Yep.
All right, so there's your Cyborg Superman history lesson.
There you go. Yeah, good issue. I mean, Hal does what Hal does, which is break the rules. And
oh yeah, they said it's fine. Let's go.
Yeah, and then later on, Guy will say, "Yeah, I knew you were lying."
All right, exactly. All right, should we get to the next one?
You bet.
All right, because oh my god, because we're not even there yet. I mean. We're going to get a big resurrection here soon, kids. It wasn't even someone Hal Jordan supposedly killed,
Exactly.
Green Lantern number 12 from July 2006, Revenge of the Green Lanterns Part 3. On Oa, Kilowog observes Morrow, keeper of the crypts of the Green Lantern Corps, destroy Tomar 2's casket. Morrow notes that most of the coffins in here are empty, such as Aricia's, as Kilowog quietly mourns his friend. Morrow hopes that the other lanterns who were lost during Hal Jordan's breakdown survived, but Salak arrives and tells them that Jordan has gone over the edge again. His energy signature disappeared with Guy Gardner's on the edge of Sector 3600, even though the Guardians had told Jordan not to enter the sector. Kilowog says there are good men and women who need to be rescued. It's Hal's duty, whether it's his assigned sector or not, and it's only a violation if the Guardians notice. Salak reminds Kilowog that his job is to ensure that they notice.
Yep.
On Biot, Guy holds a barely conscious Hal, staring down their attacker, Hank Henshaw, the Cyborg Superman. Unimpressed, Guy attacks him, only to discover that Henshaw has several Green Lantern rings on both hands. Ordering Guy to be taken to the High Masters, Henshaw injects Hal with Will Hunters, nanites designed to brainwash him and turn him into a Manhunter. And didn't we talk about this during Emerald Twilight? Multiple rings does not increase your willpower.
No, it does not. It increases the amount of energy, I guess, you'd have, because, more rings equal more little rings of power, so you'd be able to throw more power at something.
But once again, it's not going to increase your concentration or willpower. No.
Nope.
On Earth, Alan Scott watches a news report of Crimson Fox commenting on her new membership in the Global Guardians and further denouncing the Green Lantern for his disregard of national sovereignty. Concerned, Alan puts a phone call to Oliver Queen. In London, the alien Lorag meets with another alien who wants the bounty on Hal Jordan. His competition, Hunger Dog, arrives and fights him over the right for the job. Hunger Dog takes him down and Lorag gives him the information. Back on Biot, the Will Hunters are forcing Hal to relive his past mistakes, abandoning his family to join the Air Force, leaving Carol Ferris, and allowing Cowgirl to be captured because he didn't have his ring on. Then he sees his former lover and fellow Lantern Aricia, who was killed by Major Force. Hal hears Aricia tell him that she forgives him and to fight the Will Hunters. This allows Hal to awaken and use his ring to destroy the Will Hunters. Needing backup, Hal severs the wires connecting Kihon, who immediately goes on the attack toward the Manhunters. After releasing the other Lost Lanterns, Hal remembers that time hasn't passed for them. The Lost Lanterns attack him in full force, and they all fall into a cavern. Henshaw orders the Manhunters to hold positions as he's already activated the High Masters. In the caves, the Lanterns attack Hal without restraint, but Creon notes that he isn't fighting back. Here's a name we haven't heard in a while, kids. As Jack T. Chance throws him against the wall, Graf grabs his right hand and tells Jordan that karma is about balance. He took Boudica's hand. She has every right to take his. Just as Boudica prepares to slice off his hand with a piece of metal, Creon stops her, telling the others that something is very wrong with this situation. Hal explains that he left them in space where the Manhunters took them to Biot years ago. Hal assures them that Guy Gardner is with him, and if they can find him, he'll tell them the truth. Suddenly, Hal sees something out of the corner of his eye. It's Aricia, alive and strung up to the wall. Using their rings to illuminate the cavern, the Lanterns find other Green Lanterns long thought dead. This reinforces Creon's belief that Jordan's story and tells the other Lanterns to start cutting them down. Suddenly, Creon is struck in the back by an energy blast. As Boudica rushes to him, the Lanterns come face to face with the High Masters, massive manhunters with Green Lanterns inside them, one of which contains Guy Gardner.
I loved the fact that the bounty hunter that was going against Hunger Dog was Flicker.
Yes! Yes!
From what, numbers 19 and 20? You know?
Yes, for that 90s series, yes.
Which was perfect because, you know, it's dealing with a lot of the Lanterns from, you know, that era, you know, that Hal was personally recruiting and training, right? Creon. And it looks like Creon dies in this issue.
Maybe. I can't remember if they bring him back at any point, or...
I know he gets shot in the back, so and Boudica's very angry.
Oh yes,
but, you know, we get Aricia back, we get Tomar 2, we get Creon,
Jack
Boudica,
T. Chance.
Jack T. Chance. Yeah, this was a good issue,
and this issue was delayed 2 months in publication.
No.
You there? You froze up on me.
Still here, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I forgot about this. Hunger Dog is someone in disguise. Do you remember who it is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right then.
Should we spoil that?
Nah, we can keep that under wraps. But yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
You know, they made it a point of mentioning during the Batman issue. He asks, I think, Ollie.
Yeah.
Ollie asks about,
Batman, my favorite character.
I'm trying not to give that away. Is what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
It's the 1 year. It was not the Batman issue. It was 1 year later, number 10.
Okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say, or wait a minute, is it the person undercover? Because I know I thought he mentioned Alan, or did he mention Alan too in issue 10?
He mentioned that too.
Okay,
but yeah, the undercover. Yeah.
All right, you ready to wrap this up? Last issue.
Let's do it.
All right. Final part tonight, Green Lantern number 13 from August 2006, Revenge of the Green Lanterns Part 4. The lost lanterns that had been used by the Manhunters as a power source battle their former captors. However, they also see Hal Jordan as a threat, as their last memories are of battling him when he was possessed by Parallax. As Creon dies, here we go, his ring heads for Boudica. She tries to attack Hal until Kihon orders her to attack the Manhunters. Hal heads for the recently rediscovered Aricia, but the Cyborg Superman grabs her first. He explains that when Major Force suffocated her, Aricia had gone into a coma-like state to heal, something all Graxosians do. Jordan and Henshaw fight until Aricia awakens and slices off Henshaw's arm. Hal explains that he's back to his normal self. They're on the Manhunter homeworld with about 26 other captive lanterns, 6 of whom want to kill him, and they need to free them. Jordan manages to get Gardner out of his High Master and tells him to rescue the others and evacuate them. While fighting, Henshaw reveals that he destroyed Coast City because his wife was from there. Henshaw then explains that the High Masters use Green Lanterns as fuel, eventually breaking them down slowly over a period of 20 years! That's slow torture, and that this is to be Hal's fate. However, the High Master also grabs Aricia, who helps Hal to take control of the robot. Henshaw screams that he knows what the Guardians are really hiding, but Hal uses the High Master to destroy the power battery on Biot, which in turn destroys the planet. The Green Lanterns survive with a force field. See? Other Green Lanterns blow up planets, Will. Cal blew up Oa. John Stewart blew up Zanchi. Come on.
Zanchi. It's Guy's turn.
Don't put that in the atmosphere. Back on Oa, Guy Gardner tells the Guardians that he authorized the mission to Biot. The Guardians believe that Guy is covering for Hal, but Guy refuses to change his story. As punishment, the Guardians sentence Guy to 1 month of prime duty. And no kids, he's not working for Amazon. Much to Gardner's annoyance, The Guardians also refuse Hal's request to send a retrieval team to search Sector 3601, even though Hal tells them that Henshaw most likely survived. In the halls of the Citadel, the Lost Lanterns are given heroes' welcomes. Kihon tells Jordan that they and the other captives owe him their lives, but they still remember what he did to them, and gives him a warning. If he stays clear of them, they'll stay clear of him. However, Aricia is more forgiving and gives Hal a kiss goodbye. Elsewhere, Savak explains the rules of Prime duty to Guy. He is not to eat, sleep, drink, talk, or dispose of any waste while he is there. His ring will perform any bodily functions he requires for 4 weeks he is there. Guy is most displeased. In their meeting room, the Guardians discuss the ramifications of what they have learned. Although the Manhunters were built blind to the path, Henshaw was once fused with the Source Wall, and if anyone is to have learned and sought it out, it would be a curious Earthman. Fearing that Henshaw may have discovered the 52, they decide that one of them will have to seek him out. Okay, I mean, that Guardians ending was shocking, but so is this the first time we've mentioned that's like, oh yeah, a power ring can keep someone awake for a month straight?
That's pretty cool.
And eliminate all their bodily waste and not make it so they don't have to eat?
I mean, it makes sense. You know, they have to travel through space, and you know, the demands of the job are that you can't be interrupted. So
yes,
there you go.
And yes, Prime duty is guarding Superboy Prime, kids. So
it's also Prime duty. Sorry, I said duty.
You're just saying next it's Superboy Prime.
That's right.
So
indeed.
So kind of in this last issue, we got Cyborg Superman and Superboy Prime, pretty much. You know, even though he's still locked in his cage.
Mm-hmm. And we found out about the 52, and we know the Guardians are hiding something. And it's all going to start rolling up fast in the next several months of the series because we're on a downhill sprint to Sinestro Corps.
Exactly. Wait a minute. The Guardians have a secret conspiracy? Get out of here.
I know that never happens, right? Oh, wait. It's a day that ends in Y. Yes, they do.
Next thing you know, that battery will be blowing up.
Just put a moratorium on that for like a decade or so. I mean, please.
Can we keep the core and the battery and everything intact for 5 to 10 years? Yeah, that's not. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be
like groovy.
At this point, that would seem groundbreaking. Where it's like, oh, the Green Lantern Corps still around. Everything's still peachy. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. They're still here. What's going on?
All right. So, anything else, William?
Let me think. This is a really good arc. I liked how it brought a lot of the more fallout from Emerald Twilight back into the book.
Yeah,
you know, it was good to get those lanterns that we hadn't seen literally in a decade, if not more.
A little over, I'd say. Yeah, since '94. Yeah.
See them back in A Corps. That was cool.
Oh, we're not going to get to this next episode, but you know what the next arc is in this book? The 4-part Wanted Hal Jordan.
Oh, yeah. So we are going to deal with 1 year later stuff.
Yep. All right. But next time we're going to cover the first 6 issues of Green Lantern Corps.
That's a good series.
That's right. And then the 2 weeks after that, we're going to split up that 12-issue Ion series.
And who is that by? I can't remember, sir.
Oh,
refresh my memory.
I thought you were going to say who's Ion. I was going to say my favorite, Kyle Rayner. No, yes, written by friend of the show, making yet another return to the Green Lantern universe, Mr. Ron Mars.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Nice.
So first 6 issues of Green Lantern Corps, then we'll split Ion into 2 weeks, and then after that we'll get to Wanted Hal Jordan.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, lots of good stuff coming up on the all the Green Lantern stuff.
Oh yeah,
we've got multiple series here. We've got Green Lantern Corps. We've got Ion. So there's at this point in in time, we had 3 Green Lantern series, 2 of them ongoing, one of them, a 12-issue series, right?
Yeah. I think that one was, yeah. And when you think about it, what's coming up, we're still in the slow stage here, kids.
Yeah.
Return of all these lanterns, Cyborg Superman. We're still in the slow stage here, kids.
The pedal will be pressed to the metal very shortly.
When you see the word Sinestro Corps War.
And it's...
Blackest Night.
Blackest Night. Yeah. I have such great memories of the Sinestro Corps War as it was coming out, reading it. So I'm a little bit scared, afraid of maybe that it won't hold up to what my memories are, but I don't know. This book has held up to, being just as good as I thought it was, and sometimes better than I missed that time because I hadn't read from 1990 up recently. Why would I have done that, Phil?
No, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's been a few years since I read all the Sinestro Corps War and stuff. But from what I remember, I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
I don't think I am either.
So I guess we'll see.
I don't think we're going to find out.
All right, kids. So send us your thoughts on all the upcoming stuff. Send us your thoughts on all the new Green Lanterns coming out. Let us know what you think of Night Terrors when it comes out. The new stuff. Send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon. Please subscribe to the Patreon. Part 2 of Lilith Hellfire's Drunken Rant on Heroes Reborn is up now. I know she wasn't that drunk in part 1, but she's so drunk in part 2. All right, so as she talks some Rob Liefeld Avengers. It's as good as you think. The rant is as good as you think it is, kids. Find everything at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. Oh, well, you missed it. She didn't get to them all, but she was like, I brought 12 cans for 12 issues. And she was like, you can hear her cracking open cans and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth the price of admission alone, kids. All right, and I keep hating to do this, but yes, kids, and all our show notes right now, please check out the GoFundMe link for the family of our good friend Charlie Esser, who we just lost recently. Like I said, the man entertained you for years. Please help his family with funeral arrangements and just everyday expenses. So if you can, please contribute. Like I said, it's in all the show notes, so just check it out, GoFundMe. All right, Mr. Will Allred, master of the core, master of the Quantum Zone, master of Kickstarter and comics and podcasting. Where can people find all of you and all of your goodness?
Well, you can find me right here. You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Twitter and Facebook and several other social media that I've probably forgotten that I set up. But you can also find my comics work at crossoverdivision.com. Crossover Division is a Kickstarter series. We just funded an oversized hardcover of the first 4 issues, and that'll be shipping hopefully about 10 to 12 weeks. Oh, thank you, Phil. Number 3's right there, yeah. And also, if you want to check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com, that's where you can go to find out about it. And Phil's not the only, podcaster I annoy on a regular basis. That would also be writer Kevin Joseph of the series Tart. He and I have a show on Friday nights called Explain Yourself, where we bring on comic book creators to discuss their crowdfunding project, typically Kickstarter, but we have people on from Zoop, BackerKit, Crowdfunder, you name it. So give that a look, and you'll support indie comics. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here listening to us. So that means you probably love Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you want to find out more about Quasar, then check out the Quantum Zone at quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party. He goes limp in my grip. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices. Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
And of course.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
And the easiest way to find every episode of the Quantum Zone, go to the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. There's a playlist. You can just go watch right down the list.
100 and how many episodes, Phil? 150?
Oh, is it like 53, 54, something? Yeah, it's over 150 kids, so many.
Yep.
Featuring myself, William here, and of course, the man, the myth, Mr. Matt Kona. He is not
the Lost Lantern.
He is not a he is not a Boston Pizza owner.
Slow down. We need this for drops. When he gives me his bone.
That's a Green Lantern job.
When he gives me his bone.
The Guy
See you
Gardner.
later, bunkies.
I know. Guy Gardner drop. Get those all the time. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again in 1 week. Green Lantern Corps 1 through 6, and then Ion 1 through 6, and then Ion 7 through 12.
Awesome.
And then we get to Hal Jordan, Wanted Hal Jordan.
And then we get to the Sinestro Corps War.
You ain't ready. If you never read it, you ain't ready.
That's going to have to be, 3-4 weeks?
Oh, I have it on the schedule. Yeah, it's not 1 week. It's not 1 week, I'm pretty sure. So,
yeah.
All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, next time, make sure they stay dead. Good night.